What
Well,
if, and we're going to have you on next week, what is if this inflation, this transitory that turned into super hyperinflation, what if they just blow the numbers off next week? I mean, they were pretty good. I mean, we've had a lot of inline stuff. I mean, even that, is that not going to change things?
the inflation data is way more stable than the jobs data. So a surprise in inflation is highly unlikely. I mean, everything's possible, but the odds on a big upward surprise in inflation are down in the 1-2% territory.
Hmm.
They're very, very low. And if it did happen, I think the Fed would say it's a 1 month blip and there'd probably be some explanation for it. But since I don't have the explanation in advance, I actually don't think it'll happen. Um, by the way, this chart just shows that the Fed funds futures, the CME Fed funds futures, are talking about a whole sequence of rate cuts all the way down to 3% by the end of next year. Um, I don't know that that's going to change very much based on this number. Um, where the Fed's talking about getting back to some kind of neutrality. I don't know where that number is. I don't think they do either, but it's probably between 3.5 and 4, maybe not all the way to 3. So we're looking at a sequence of rate cuts.
How many, I mean, do you think there will be at this point?
I think you need the next chart. This is trying to figure out how many rate cuts are between now and the end of the year, end of 2024. And the Fed funds futures has 4.25%, 25 basis points. So that's a full percentage point. I think this expectation may shift a little bit based on this number. The jobs, again, we're continuing to grow the economy, so there's no rush to cut. And so I really do not think the Fed will do anything in their November meeting. It's 2 days after the election. We may not even know the results. The last thing they want to do is be in the headlines that week. In fact, I'm surprised they're even holding the meeting. So you get a cut in September, you skip the first week of November, and then you cut again in December. So that's only 50 basis points. So on this chart, that would be a -2, two cuts. So I'm looking for some change in expectations. But when you go out a year or a year and a half, I don't think expectations change that much. It's just the starting point is a little slower than some people were thinking.